Let's paint the edges of this old thrift store book. I usually start by taking the cover off because I like it better looking plain. For me personally, when I'm painting a hardcover book, I like to bend the covers back so they're out of the way. I find if you leave the covers closed, it creates like a valley situation where you're trying to paint like inside this valley of the book, and it kind of makes it difficult to get like in the corners sometimes. So I like to press just the page parts. I just got two bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree, and that's what I use to press my books. And then just some regular clamps that I got mine from Walmart. And they're the cheapest at Walmart, but you can get them from any hardware store. Most of you can probably get away with using two clamps where you clamp one at each end. But I personally like to paint my books upright so I can kind of visualize what they're going to look like on the shelf. So I always add a third clip in the back to support it standing up. Before I start painting, I always sand them. For these hardcover books, I usually just get a sanding block from the Dollar Tree to sand them with. And I just brush them off when I'm done. And I'm going to go ahead and add that third clip so it's kind of sitting up straight. And I'm going to use a pencil to sketch out my design. And I'm just keeping it a really simple cartoon-like design. I've wanted to do a painting with scopes in it for a while because I love vintage stuff, and I don't know, I just love the little design of them. I never got one like as a kid or actually as an adult either, but has anybody ever actually gotten a scopes picture? I see people all the time like collecting vintage scopes, and I would love to find like some out like at the thrift store or antique store or something, but I've never actually seen any. So I have the same color palette that I use for all paintings, no matter which type of paint I'm going to use. The color palette I use is either like a vermilion or a cadmium red, magenta, cyan or kind of a turquoise, phthalo blue, yellow, black and white. And I also keep a like a burnt sienna or raw sienna reddish kind of earth tone on hand, but since I'm painting like cartoon style, I won't be using it for this painting. I use gouache paint when I paint my book edges, and I just buy just small detail brushes off of Amazon. And I don't have a particular brand of paint that I prefer, but since I like to have a certain palette, I like that the Holbein brand, which you can buy on Amazon, because you can buy the individual colors that of your choice rather than buying like one of those sets of gouache that has just kind of like a bunch of random colors in it. So that I use that brand mostly because I like to pick my own colors. So this is a pretty simple design where there's only two sides to each of the scopes that you can see. So I'm doing kind of like a darker shadowy color and then a regular color, lighter color for each of the scopes. And then I'm going to go in and use some grays for the back end of the scopes and for the chains for the scopes. And then I'll just mix up a sand color for the background.